Shou Zi Chew's story begins in the vibrant city of Singapore, a place known for discipline, structure, and quiet determination. He grew up in a supportive household that encouraged hard work and humility, values that shaped his calm personality from an early age. Unlike many future tech leaders who showed dramatic flashes of ambition, Shou developed quietly, observing, learning, and progressing with steady intention. He wasn't loud, competitive, or attention-seeking. Instead, he moved through life with a gentle sense of focus. As a child, Shou was drawn to both numbers and systems. He enjoyed understanding how things worked beneath the surface, whether it was technology, economics, or the way people made decisions. He wasn't the type to rush into conclusions. He preferred to think deeply, reflect quietly, and act only when he felt certain. This thoughtful approach became a signature trait, one that people around him would later recognize as a source of strength. Growing up in Singapore meant embracing structure early in life. Shou attended local schools where discipline and academic rigor were everyday expectations. But even in this environment, he stood out, not through aggression or intensity, but through calm precision. Teachers noticed his ability to concentrate for long periods, absorbing information carefully and responding thoughtfully. Shou learned early that he didn't need to be the loudest voice to make an impact. He simply needed to be consistent. A significant chapter of Shou's early life came with Singapore's mandatory military service. The experience taught him leadership, responsibility, and resilience, not through force, but through routine, discipline, and teamwork. He learned to stay composed under pressure, to communicate clearly, and to make decisions without panic. These habits would later help him navigate some of the most challenging public moments of his career. The calmness he displayed as an adult began forming long before he entered the business world. After completing his service, Shou's academic journey took him to the United Kingdom, where he studied at University College London. Far from home, he carried with him the same quiet determination that shaped his youth. He excelled in economics and engineering, two fields that stretched his analytical mind and deepened his understanding of global systems. The experience broadened his perspective, exposing him to international ideas and cultures. It was the beginning of a career that would one day bridge worlds. During his time abroad, Shou developed a clearer vision of the type of person he wanted to become. He admired leaders who were thoughtful rather than forceful, strategic rather than reactive. He believed in steady progress, not sudden leaps. Every choice he made, from classes to internships, reflected an understanding that success was a long, patient journey. He carried this belief into every stage of his education. By the time Shou graduated, he had built a foundation shaped by patience, logic, and cultural awareness. He was not driven by the desire for fame or status. He wanted to contribute meaningfully to the world by helping people understand one another and stay connected. His path wasn't loud, dramatic, or predictable. It was calm, steady, and intentional, the beginning of a journey that would eventually lead him to the global spotlight as the leader of one of the most influential platforms on Earth. After completing his studies in London, Shou Zi Chew entered the world of global finance with the same quiet determination that shaped his early life. He joined Goldman Sachs as an analyst, stepping into an environment known for intensity and pressure. Yet even in this fast-paced world, Shou carried a calm, balanced presence. He worked methodically, focusing on learning rather than impressing. His ability to stay composed allowed him to see clarity where others saw noise. During his time at Goldman Sachs, Shou gained exposure to international markets and large-scale investment strategies. He wasn't drawn to finance for its glamour. He was fascinated by the way businesses evolved, adapted, and interacted with people's lives. The role sharpened his analytical mind and taught him to make decisions based on data, logic, and steady reasoning. He developed a quiet confidence that would later define his leadership style. Every project became a lesson in discipline and precision. Shou's path took a major turn when he joined DST Global, a venture capital firm known for backing some of the most influential tech companies of the early 2010s. Here, he worked closely with leaders building platforms that connected the world: Facebook, Alibaba, and others shaping the digital future. He observed how founders balanced vision with responsibility, momentum with patience. These experiences expanded his understanding of global technology far beyond surface-level trends. He wasn't just learning business, he was learning how global connection worked. In DST's calm but high-stakes environment, Shou developed a reputation as someone who could see long-term potential where others saw uncertainty. He was never rushed, never reactive. Instead, he approached every opportunity with careful thought and quiet curiosity. His judgment earned respect from colleagues and entrepreneurs alike. People noticed the way he listened deeply without interruption, before offering clear, measured insights. These years shaped more than Shou's career. They shaped his worldview. He learned that the best leaders weren't the loudest. They were the ones who stayed grounded in principles, even under pressure. He observed how global platforms influenced culture, communication, and everyday life. He began to understand the delicate balance between innovation and responsibility. These lessons planted the seeds for the leader he would become long before his name entered the public spotlight. Shou continued moving through his career with intention, seeking roles that challenged him while aligning with his values. His calm discipline, combined with global experience, opened doors to opportunities few could imagine. And eventually, those opportunities led him toward a rising tech company in China, one that would transform his trajectory and connect him to a platform used by hundreds of millions around the world. This next step would introduce Shou to leadership on a scale unlike anything he experienced before. He was ready, not because he chased the spotlight, but because he had prepared quietly, patiently, and consistently for years. His journey was entering a new chapter, one that would test his calm under pressure and shape his identity as a global leader. When Shou Zi Chew joined Xiaomi, he entered one of the fastest-growing technology companies in the world. Despite the rapid pace and constant pressure, Shou brought with him the same calm presence that defined his earlier career. Xiaomi valued innovation, efficiency, and global reach, qualities that aligned with Shou's own disciplined mindset. He began as the company's chief financial officer, where his quiet clarity helped guide financial strategy during a period of extraordinary expansion. His steady leadership quickly earned him the trust of the entire organization. As Xiaomi continued to grow, Shou took on a larger role, becoming president of International. This position required him to lead teams across cultures, languages, and continents. Instead of relying on forceful authority, he led through empathy and understanding, listening deeply, observing patterns, and making decisions based on long-term stability rather than short-term excitement. He traveled extensively, studying how people around the world used technology in their daily lives. These experiences expanded his perspective on global communication. Shou played a key role in bringing Xiaomi to international markets, helping the company earn recognition and respect beyond Asia. He understood that success in global business required more than strategy. It required cultural intelligence. His calm confidence allowed him to communicate effectively with leaders from Europe, India, Latin America, and beyond. He emphasized clarity, trust, and humility in every partnership. Under his influence, Xiaomi became not just a fast-growing company, but a respected global brand. During these years, Shou also developed a deeper sense of his own leadership philosophy. He believed that great leaders were defined by steadiness, not speed. He valued thoughtful decisions over impulsive ones and consistent progress over dramatic leaps. In meetings, he was known for his ability to stay composed even during high-pressure discussions. People admired the way he balanced financial precision with a genuine respect for human connection. This combination made him uniquely suited for larger challenges ahead. Shou's performance at Xiaomi brought him global recognition, eventually catching the attention of ByteDance, the parent company behind TikTok. The company was preparing for rapid global expansion, and they needed someone with both financial expertise and calm international leadership. Shou's journey through finance, technology, and global markets made him the perfect fit. He joined ByteDance first as Chief Financial Officer, stepping quietly into one of the most influential roles in modern tech. But this transition marked more than a new job. It marked the beginning of Shou's shift from behind-the-scenes strategist to public-facing leader. TikTok was becoming a cultural phenomenon, shaping entertainment, communication, and creativity for millions of people worldwide. And as the platform grew, so did the challenges surrounding it. Shou was stepping into a role where calmness would be tested in ways he had never experienced before. Yet he entered this new chapter with the same steady resolve that guided him from the beginning. As he settled into the company, Shou observed TikTok not just as a business, but as a global community. He recognized how young people used it to express themselves, learn new skills, and share ideas with the world. He also understood the responsibility that came with this influence. His careful, balanced approach prepared him to guide TikTok through complex conversations about safety, trust, and global regulations. Shou was ready for what came next. The stage was set for him to become the face of one of the most widely used platforms on the planet. His journey had been slow, intentional, and grounded in years of discipline. Now the quiet leader from Singapore was about to step into one of the most scrutinized roles in the tech world, bringing with him the calm, thoughtful presence that had defined his entire life. When Shou Zi Chew stepped into the role of CEO of TikTok, he entered one of the most challenging leadership positions in the modern world. TikTok was no longer just an app. It was a global cultural force, shaping how millions express themselves every day. With that influence came scrutiny, questions, and immense responsibility. But Shou approached the role the same way he approached every chapter of his life, calmly, deliberately, and with a steady sense of purpose. He understood that leadership required clarity, especially when the world demanded answers. As TikTok grew across continents, Shou focused on building transparency and trust. He worked closely with engineers, policymakers, and global partners to ensure the platform supported safety, creativity, and well-being. His communication was measured and thoughtful, even when faced with intense public pressure. Rather than reacting emotionally, he paused, listened, and responded with facts and clarity. His calmness became a defining part of TikTok's public identity. Shou soon found himself standing before governments and committees, answering difficult questions under bright lights and sharp scrutiny. Despite the intensity, he remained composed. His tone stayed steady, his posture relaxed, and his answers clear. Millions of viewers noticed his calm resilience, how he spoke with respect, even when confronted with tension. In those moments, Shou became more than a CEO. He became a symbol of steady leadership in a world often driven by noise. Behind the scenes, Shou led with the same quiet discipline that shaped his childhood in Singapore. He encouraged teams to think long-term, prioritize user safety, and build tools that uplifted creativity. TikTok wasn't just an entertainment platform to him. It was a place where people found community, expression, and a sense of belonging. He believed deeply in the power of connection, and he wanted the company to reflect that belief through thoughtful design and responsible innovation. As TikTok expanded into new forms of content, education, wellness, storytelling, global culture. Shou guided the platform with humility. He didn't seek fame, nor did he chase the spotlight. Instead, he focused on steady progress, strengthening security, improving transparency reports, and building bridges between cultures. His leadership became a reminder that calmness is not passive, it is powerful. It allows someone to see clearly when others feel overwhelmed. In his personal life, Shou continued to value privacy, family, and balance. Despite leading a company known worldwide, he kept his life grounded and simple. He often spoke about gratitude, discipline, and staying anchored in purpose. These values helped him navigate the pressures of global leadership with grace. He believed that a person's character mattered more than their status, and he carried that belief through every decision he made. Over time, Shou's journey became an unexpected example of modern resilience. He showed that leadership doesn't require loudness or dominance. It requires clarity, patience, and an ability to stay centered, even when the world is watching. His path from a quiet childhood in Singapore through global finance and international tech to the head of one of the most influential digital platforms revealed the strength of calm determination. As this documentary reaches its gentle close, let Shou Zi Chew's story remind you that you don't need to force your way into the world to make an impact. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from quiet confidence, slow progress, and steady belief in your purpose. You can lead with calmness, you can move with intention, and like Shou, you can shape your path one thoughtful step at a time. Take a deep breath. Let the day settle softly around you, and trust that your own quiet strength is enough. Good night.